What's up, guys? It's Mo from the Meatless, and today I'm going to talk about how to get in the best shape of your life on a raw vegan diet, or as a raw vegan, however you want to look at it. There are a lot of rumors out there. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things out there, and that's why I really want to address this, because people that don't know what they're talking about are trying to tell you guys how to get into shape, and it's really annoying. It's very, very annoying. So let me help you guys out. Remember one thing, guys. Listen, somebody who doesn't have the results that they're trying to tell you how to get is not the person to follow. Okay? If a guy's trying to tell you how to put on muscle and he's 160 pounds, then do not listen to him. Okay? Just because he has abs. All you have to do to get abs is starve yourself. That's literally all you like. If you just literally starve yourself, you will get a six-pack, because everybody has a six-pack. So you'll lose fat and muscle and everything else, but you'll have those abs there. We're aiming too low. You'll see that you'll have those abs there. So if you really want to get into shape, though, you have to listen to somebody who is practicing what they preach, okay, and showing the fruit of what they're saying. So that being said, guys, let's get into it, okay? So the first thing I want to say is protein. You need protein. You got to have enough protein. And if you're not getting enough protein, then you're not going to really put on any substantial muscle. And I know a lot of people say, especially raw vegans, love to say protein is overrated. Protein, you don't need protein. Blah, 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 blah. You get protein in everything you eat. All of that is very blanket statement kind of stuff, okay? The truth is, you need protein. Is not overrated, it's not underrated. You need the amount of protein that you need. If you don't get enough protein, you're not going to build the muscle that you're trying to build. If you don't get enough protein, you're not going to have the proper body composition. If you don't get enough protein, you're going to be weak. You're going to feel weak over time, gradually weaker and weaker. If you're not getting enough protein, these things will happen sooner or later. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when, but they absolutely will happen. So you got to get your protein in. That's just plain and simple. You got to get your protein, okay? So how much protein do you need? A bare minimum of 0.6 grams per pound of body weight. I know for a fact, I've tested this out on myself and others, you can build muscle on 0.6 grams of protein. You can consistently build strength, like high levels of strength, with getting 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Now, you can go on up from that. As your calories come down, you need more protein. As you get older, you need more protein. So all of these different things play a factor. As you're training, you need more protein. As you get stronger, you need more protein. As you build muscle, you need more protein. If you're more active, you need more protein. And you can't just say, well, everything has protein, so I'm just going to eat my watermelon and I'm going to get my protein from that. And it's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're not going to get a little bit down. You're not going to get what you need from that, okay? You will not. You might build a little bit of something, but you're not really going to build too much. You're not really going to build what you're trying to build. You're not going to have the kind of body that makes people say, wow. You're not going to have the kind of body that when you're dressed and you're out and about, people are stopping you like, excuse me, you look amazing. Like, what do you do? How long have you been working out? Blah, 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 blah. Through your clothes, right? You're not going to have that happen unless you're getting the proper amount of protein. That's number one. Protein is king when it comes to nutrients and building muscle. Anybody says anything different is lying, or they don't know what they're talking about. One or the other, okay? So let's move on from that, okay? Protein. Get your protein every day, 0.6 grams per pound of body weight. That's 60 grams for every 100 pounds that you weigh, okay? So guy like me, around 240 pounds or so, I have to get, let's just say I get 160 grams a day, and that's kind of like the minimum for me to get. And I probably don't need quite that much, but that's what I get every day. That's bare minimum. If I go above that, that's fine, but going under that, we're too far down. Going under that is absolutely not an option. Let's bring it up a little. So let's bring that up a little. So yeah, guys, protein, get your protein. Next, we go for the micronutrients. Okay, we want to make sure we're getting our vitamins, our minerals, our antioxidants from herbs, vegetables, especially cruciferous vegetables, dark leafy greens, all sorts of different things like that, berries, the fruits that are really high in nutrients. Excuse me, like kiwis, like berries, like I was just saying. You know, a lot of fruits aren't as high in nutrients as you think they are. So then it ends up being kind of like empty calories, okay? Which is fine if you're just trying to get calories in, but when you're trying to maximize your nutrition and get those micronutrients, you want to make sure you're having the foods to get those, So also things like microgreens and sprouts are super high in nutrients. So that's another good thing. And then lastly is your, I forgot. So we talked about the protein, but your carbs and your fats, let those be where you want them to be, right? If you like having more carbs and less fat, have more carbs and less fat. If you like having more fat and less carbs, have more fat and less carbs. I find that a lot of guys like more carbs, less fat. A lot of women like more fat, less carbs. And so you just have to play with it, right? And I say never go too low with your fat. If you're going under 15%, in my opinion, not a good thing to do. Yes, I'm familiar with the 80-10-10 diet, and I know that works for some people, and that's great. But it's, in my experience, 15% is a good way to go. And when you get too much less than that, in my experience, your skin kind of starts to, we're too far down, buddy. Your skin starts to look a little bit not so good, and there's some other things that I've experienced. So there's reasons why I believe in getting at least 15% of your calories from fat. So the exercise component. You gotta train, okay? And I'm gonna give you guys the game right now. I'm gonna give you all some gold. So for y'all that stuck around this far, if you really want to build muscle as fast as possible, train each muscle once a week. Keep your volume moderate. Don't go crazy high with your volume. Never do over 12 sets for a muscle. And when you learn how to properly push yourself, you don't even need that much. And train to failure. Train to failure with good form, proper form, stimulating the exact muscle that you want to hit, and use the same exercises week in and week out. And log what you do on those exercises, how many reps, how much weight. Have a rep range that you shoot for, like 8 to 10 or whatever. And then when you hit the high end of that, the top end of that rep range, go up by 5 or 10 pounds, start over and do it again and do it again and do it again and do it again. And you have to put on muscle. If you're getting your protein, if you're getting enough calories, and if you're doing this progressive overload with the weights, which I find that you can consistently do if you hit the muscle once a week. If you hit the muscle more than once a week, it can get a little bit challenging. Sometimes the muscle, because it's not recovering fully. But if you wait a week, every time you train, you'll be fully recovered. So I know there are other things that work for other people, but this is something that has always worked for me. And I'm not saying I never do other things. I do other things, but I always come back to hitting the muscle once a week because it works the best for me, in my opinion. So yeah, with that being said, we're aiming a little too far down, but with that being said, that's it, guys. Those are the major components. If you just do those things, then I promise you will put on muscle. You will lose the body fat that you may be carrying in excess by eating in a deficit, a slight caloric deficit. We didn't talk about that, but you want to build muscle. Regardless of who you are, you want to build muscle, because even if you lose weight, you're not going to look the way you want to look unless you build muscle. So you're not like, you'll think you're going to look better and then you'll lose the weight and you'll be like, damn, I don't look better, because you need that muscle. You need that muscle to give your body that shape that you're looking for. We don't want to be skinny. We want to be shapely, right? For men, we want to have a nice V taper, right? We want to have like a narrow waist and broad shoulders. And for women, you want to have a nice hourglass, right? You want to have a nice tapered waist and some nice hips and legs and so on that come out. Or women want to have the butt and all that stuff. So we want to have shape. We don't just want to be skinny, right? So we don't just want to lose weight. We want to build some muscle so that we have the shape and we're looking nice and shapely and aesthetic. So yeah, with that being said, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one and get a custom diet, custom workout plan, and have, you know, me guiding you through this, I do work with people one-on-one. I have my email down in the description below. If that's something you're interested in, then reach out to me and we'll set up a free call. Also, I have a website with a free blog, and I'll put that down in the description below. The blog has a bunch of great information on there. I also do custom meal plans, custom workout routines. So whatever you guys are looking to do, I can help you get there. Let me know what you guys want to see in future videos. And I really mean that. For anybody that made it this far, drop a video suggestion for something that you really want to know, or you really want to, you know what I'm saying? Something that you really, like, pick my brain. I want you guys to do it. So aim it up. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'm out. I will see you on the next one. And that's it. Peace.